On a Tuesday. It is Tuesday, September 6th. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. A beautiful start to our day. The weather picture over the next couple of days is also going to be pretty active as we start to charge up more and more moisture in our atmosphere. Let's talk about the top two things we are watching. That's the first thing. Rising rain chances across Central Florida. Of course, we'll detail this neighborhood by neighborhood. Plus, we are tracking the tropics. Tropical storm Earl sitting due north of Puerto Rico. Not a threat to us, thankfully, but there is another storm system out there. And now, breaking this morning, two additional areas in the tropics that we are monitoring. So, four total. Can you tell the hurricane season is at its peak without telling me that the hurricane season is at its peak? We'll get into all that. But first, let us start outside right now with a shot on our Tower Cam network. This is down in Brevard County. An absolutely beautiful start, though you can see there on the right side of your screen some distant cloud tops. Yeah, we've got some offshore rains. Temperatures out the door this morning in the 80s in the metro area, 81 degrees in Leesburg, 75 in DeLand, 79 degrees Daytona Beach. First morning live Doppler radar showing a couple of those showers well off to our east. Here, I'll pan this over and you can see it. That's where we're getting those kind of taller cloud tops on the horizon. Not a huge concern, but there's some moisture around. So we'll watch those coastal showers from time to time. But do notice over the next few hours, we'll watch the rain chance go up once again to about a 40% coverage. It's not going to be a particularly active day. Just like yesterday, we're going to see a few showers and thunder showers, but not a lot. That's going to change, okay? 92 by 1 p.m. We're expecting a high temperature of 96 degrees in the metro area today. We hit 97 degrees yesterday in Orlando, and while that wasn't a record, Sanford did tie an old record of 96. So plenty hot yesterday, plenty hot again today. Neighborhood by neighborhood, 96 in the city, 94 degrees today in Kissimmee down in the tourist district, about 94 degrees in Claremont. Our northern spots, kind of the same thing, 94 in the villages, 94 degrees in Ocala, beaches, upper 80s, lower 90s. Breeze kind of coming in out of the east-northeast, running about 5 to 10 miles an hour. All said and done, not a bad-looking forecast whatsoever. In terms of futurecast, then we'll get into your questions here. We start off nice and quiet. Let me bring this full for you. And you can see through lunchtime, a few showers beginning to popcorn up. That continues through lunchtime. I'll see it today on WESH 2 News at noon, 2 p.m. A few showers around. A few thunder showers perhaps through 4 o'clock. I'll see you. Bye, buddy. I love you. Good morning to you, mister. I like your hair. 4 o'clock, you can see a little bit of rain here or there, and kind of fading out through 6, 7, 8 o'clock tonight. So again, rain chances suppressed for now. But if your yard needs a little bit of rain, I understand that. I don't know that I would say mine needs it, but this time of year, we do start kind of looking ahead to the dry season. We're not there yet. Not at all. Rain chances look like this, okay, over the next couple of days. Today, about a 40% coverage of rain, had a 30% or so coverage of rain yesterday. So we're kind of starting to inch up, right? 50% coverage of rain for tomorrow, and then Thursday, Friday, even more moisture around. We're entering into a pretty wet weather pattern. Why? What's going on? Well, I mentioned the dry season. We're not there at all yet. But let's look at things just a little bit here, okay? First off, for now, rain coverage stays relatively low, so we're in that drier air mass. But look up to our north. What's going on? If you look closely, there's that magical blue line that we watch this time of year. Yeah, that's a cold front. Do not think for a second that that cold front is going to be doing us any favors, at least not in terms of temperatures. But as it moves southbound, it kind of traps moisture over top of the peninsula, and thus we turn stormier and stormier and stormier. And then another element is going to be in the Gulf of Mexico. Models are trying to indicate somewhat of an area of low pressure developing, more than likely not tropical in nature, but there's something there. So we're definitely going to have something to watch these next couple of days. All right, that's a mouthful. Rain chances, though, going up. That's the bottom line. Questions, comments, concerns? We can get into the weeds here now, of course. Belinda, Connie, good morning to y'all. Let me try and catch up with the comments. Mirza, Kat, Andy Griffith. Is that really your name? Wouldn't that be funny if it was?
Coincidence.
I suppose it could be. Axley, good morning to you. Robin, good morning. Good morning. It is a busy Tuesday morning. Pat, good morning to you. Taylor, how are you? Beverly, good morning. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Tina says, good morning, all. Flying back home to South Daytona from PA today. Can't wait to get home. Well, we've got your summertime weather pattern set up for sure here. Jamie over on YouTube, good morning to you. John, good morning. Good morning. Ashley, how are you? Frankie, good morning to you, sir. What's going on, Beverly? Hey, just another day in paradise, right? Good morning to you. Boo, no cold from the cold front. I know. But, it's kind of funny. Being a Florida guy, this is lost on me, right? But this time of year, they refer to Labor Day weekend as the unofficial end of summer because, and you'll see it on the national map, the temperatures are going to start to go down north of us. Obviously, in Florida, we're kind of not included in that. But if we just look at the U.S. map as a whole, we've been transitioning into a kind of fall pattern for over a month, really. It's not there right now, sure, right? Like it's 64 in Boston, 67 degrees in Chicago. But these things over the next week will start to adjust. I can recall being on Nantucket the weekend after Labor Day, and it was chilly, and it's like dead there. Nobody's there. Went into like the only restaurant on Nantucket that was open. Guy was like, yeah, everybody gets out of Dodge. There's only a few of us that live here year round. And it's already starting to get cold. And it's like, wow, as a Florida kid, you just don't realize how that transition hits. But it does. So yesterday when I was in the Weather Center, I did a little bit of research. And if you watched WESH 2 News last night, you know about this. I may have even mentioned it on my 9 p.m. coffee talk yesterday. But with Labor Day being yesterday, and I was working in Labor Day for Tony, I thought to myself, like, okay, so when do we start normally cooling? So what I did is I put it into the climate computer and said, all right, when is normally our first morning at 69 degrees or below, aka the first morning that we get temperatures outside of the 70s? And then I was like, all right, when was the first day that we had temperatures in the mid 60s? Kind of that slow build to fall. And I don't know if you saw this, but it was a bit surprising. The first day, usually with temperatures in the upper 60s, 69 degrees or below, was September 5th. It was yesterday. It didn't happen this year, but that, on average, is the first time that we get there. Mid 60s, you usually get that first morning in the mid 60s around October 1st. Now, what's the data set comprised of? This goes all the way back as long as record keeping is set in Orlando. Okay, so you go into the 1800s through this year, and it's a big, massive data set. Obviously, there are many years where maybe you dipped a little early, many years where you dipped a little late, but this year it's going to be a little late. Obviously, we are not hitting the upper 60s today. It's 80 degrees right now in Orlando, case in point. All right. So I just thought that was kind of a fascinating little statistic. Now, when do we start to really make that transition, right? When do we get into the 50s? Like the 50s, that's when you're talking refreshing air, right? So when does that happen? Well, you usually don't get into the 50s until October 19th. And you usually don't get into the 40s until November 5th. So the way to think of it is September, you usually get like one or two more. You kind of get a little tease, lets you know it's right around the corner. And then October and November, that's when it's moving day, right? And the old thermometer. That's when we start to make those transitions, okay? So, I think it's kind of interesting when we look at this, let's keep diving in data just because why the heck not? Cool season, first time we get temperatures below 60, that's October 19th. Yeah, you can see earliest start, latest start, that kind of a thing. And then there was one other graphic. I don't know if it's... Yeah, anyway, you get the idea. All right, so that's kind of where we're at. Obviously, that's not happening for us right now. We're kind of in that warm, muggy air mass currently and over the next couple of days. And we're just going to rise rain chances, which is going to keep the muggy air mass in place. And you need dry air in order to get cooler temperatures. Not going to happen for now. Oh, well. There once was a man from. Any guess who made that comment? Your eldest son. John, do I think that we'll get permanent daylight saving time? I don't know, man. Listen, that is for Congress and politicians, and as I've said to my father, and as I've said here, Coffee Talk has no politics, and I have no. You don't care about my politics. I don't care about yours, and that's a political world. So let them do their thing. I have no idea. I don't know or care because it has nothing to do with me. I mean, it would impact me, but I'm not the one making those decisions. All right. I don't like 40s. No. Annie says, well, I mean, like it or not, we are into meteorological fall, even if there's no actual fall temperatures on our 7-day forecast, which, speaking of which, here's a look at the 7-day forecast, and goes kind of without saying. There's no fall in there. About the only thing falling is our afternoon highs from the mid-90s to the lower 90s, but that's not, anything crazy. I do want to point out, because I did have a couple of people asking me, they shot me emails yesterday, and they were asking about the rain chances at the end of this week, because they're going up, right? And the people were asking, there were like 3 or 4 emails that came in. I have this trip, or I have this planned, or I want to do this. What do we think about late week? Should I cancel my this or that or this or that? And I would say no, because it rains every day during the summertime in Central Florida. All we're doing is raising the overall coverage just a little bit, okay? So, for what it's worth, don't go canceling plans. It's just the same normal stuff, showers and thunder showers around. Just going to be a higher coverage of rain. It ebbs and it flows, right? Mickey, good morning to you over on YouTube. It was a beautiful Labor Day yesterday. I'm heading to Epcot on Saturday. Hopefully not a washout. Not a washout, but there will be those showers and those thunder showers. Diane says, good morning, everyone. Low 50s and high 70s. Bring it on. I'm so ready. I am too. Just don't tell anybody. Fall is my favorite time of year. Favorite time of the year. I'm ready for football. Well, football's here, baby. I'm ready to enjoy football. Yeah. I worked Saturday, so I didn't get a chance to watch a single game. And then I didn't get a chance. I fell asleep before the LSU FSU game was on, and I apparently missed a heck of a game. So I'm going to have to go back and watch that at some point. You'll see in the Weather Center today, if you come to WESH, not that you're going to, but if you come to WESH today after the noon show from 1 to 2, the LSU FSU game is going to be on in the Weather Center. I'm going to be sitting there eating my Lunchable, watching, because I heard it was quite the game. And then little Eric, threw such a fit last week because we didn't go to the UCF game because it was raining. I wasn't going to go to the game in the rain. Now, Friday, 60% coverage of showers and storms. I'm hoping it looks a little better so that we can go. I'm not going to go sit and just get disgustingly gross. Kimberly says, hate football, but that was a great last 10 minutes. So I should only watch the end of it? Leonard, comments not working? I see your comment, bud. I love fall. Like we were at Publix yesterday and there was a cinnamon broom. And I was like, let's do it. I love fall. It is my favorite. The Gator game was a heck of a good game, too. Oh, yeah, I heard that. Utah? Wow. And then what was just a good weekend of football. I need to go back. I think my first thing, I need to go back and just see who won and who lost. Like, I don't even know. Did Cincinnati play? Who won that game? So much to learn. Anyway, Friday night football, whether it's UCF or high school, concerned. Not going to pretend that it's going to be a great forecast. We have to time it out. One of my jobs today will be putting together the high school football and the college football forecasts. So I'll get that all started. Probably we'll see some of that today on WESH 2 News at noon. All right, that's where we are right now. locally. Rain chances going up these next couple of days. What about in the tropics? It is just about the peak of hurricane season after all. First off, what are the systems we are watching? Well, on the top of the screen, you've got Hurricane Danielle continuing to move into the cooler waters of the North Atlantic. It will be weakening and becoming a nothing as it kind of loops around past the Azores. And then just north of Puerto Rico, you've got Tropical Storm Earl. Tropical Storm Earl. Yeah, let's take a closer look at Earl, all right? The good news, this is a storm system that is not going to be a threat to us. Certainly when you see a system in that spot, though, it always catches your attention. It made a run for hurricane status last night. I was watching recon data coming in from the hurricane hunters at like 9, 10, I'd say like more like 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock last night. And every time they flew through the storm, it was dropping its pressure, picking up its winds. Got up to 70 miles an hour, and then overnight lost some of its convection, which is a very normal thing. Overnight, you lose that daytime heating, yada, 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 yada. So anyway, storm system kind of looking a little crummy overnight. Looks like it's kind of trying to get itself organized once again. Probably will make a run for hurricane status, if not today, tomorrow. Here's a look at the forecast cone. Expected to become a Cat 3 hurricane Friday into Saturday as it passes near or just off to the east of Bermuda. That would make Earl the first major hurricane of the season, so something to watch. Thankfully, nothing of a direct threat for us. It'll throw some rougher surf and rip currents over the next couple of days, but nothing more than that. All right, then you've got Danielle again, looping out to sea. In addition to Danielle and Earl, there are two waves off the coast of Africa. The first wave in orange, let's just zoom into that. It's this one here near the Cabo Verde Islands. It has a medium 60% likelihood over the next 5 days' time and a medium 40% likelihood over the next 2 days' time of trying to develop into something tropical. Models do try to develop it, and then they try to recurve it, so it's not going to be a massive concern for us, at least in the United States. Definitely going to be something to watch, but definitely also going to be something we don't think we're going to have to deal with. Then in addition to Earl, there is another wave. I kind of first mentioned it on Coffee Talk last night and on Wesh 2 News. Little wave coming off the coast of Africa. For right now, a low 20% likelihood of developing over the next 5 days' time. That number will gradually grow and grow and grow. So 4 areas that we are watching in the tropical Atlantic. Again, like I said off the top, tell me we're in the peak of season without telling me we're in the peak of season. This image tells it all. We've gone from having 0 systems to track to now 4 systems. Yeah. And by the way, I didn't get a chance to update the graphic this morning, but ACE numbers, this season we're sitting at 14.6 ACE points through midnight. 49.1 is the seasonal average. So our ACE is going up. Now, of course, that we have 2 named systems, and that will continue to go up. Nancy, I'm washing clothes, multitasking this morning. Good. Glad. John says Clemson kicked butt. Yes, I heard that was quite a game. I've been working. I have not had the chance. To even check on college football scores. It was a good weekend, though, if UCF won. It's an even better weekend if you've got most Florida teams winning, like FSU won, UF won. How did Miami do? Did they win? Did they win?
I think they did.
Hey, the Big Four won? I don't know. Did Miami football? Let's see. Miami. Miami football. Yeah, let's see. Oh, yeah. 70-13. Good. So the Big 3 won. Excuse me, the Big 4 won. There's no Big 3. Yeah, there could be if you want to be a real schmuck. Just got a Wesh notification that Earl is expected to become a hurricane, Jenny says. Tropical storm Earl expected to become a hurricane. Yes, yeah. That's correct. That's correct. Yep, we showed you that just a little bit ago. All right. Sarah's asking, hey, Eric, how is October looking, as in your long-range forecast? Normally planning for all weather, but just get a heads up on it. All right, so let's look at, give me a few seconds here, and we can look at the BSR. Stand by. Give me a few seconds. So the BSR, what is, first off, my long range forecast only rolls through September because into October we enter into a new seasonal forecast, right? So let me get the BSR locked and loaded here. That. Get you there. Give me just a few seconds. North Pacific. That. Okay. We'll do that. All right. So first off, let's look at the models. Give me a few seconds. This is how you could tell that I didn't do my prep work. That's okay. Coffee Talk is supposed to be unprofessional, right, boss? All right. First off, let's do this. We'll hit the basin. All right. Atlantic Basin. Here's a look at the raw GFS model. All right. And let's just look and see what's doing on the models, and then we'll use our teleconnection to kind of get an idea of what else. All right. So, rolling through time. Little storm system. Earl develops, gets stronger near Bermuda. You've got more activity out there over the open Atlantic. Nothing mega, nothing major. Nothing major, which is good. No big major threats, at least, showing up. Now, you see that? GFS showing a little something firing up in the Caribbean, lifting into the Gulf of Mexico, and maybe moving over toward Mexico. You see that there? Let me just top. This is the 60 run. Let me go back one run. Nothing really showing up one run behind. So important to note that the GFS is up to the GFS's old tricks again. And then east of us, developing something of a storm system. Oh, that's already looped back. All right, so nothing crazy on the GFS. Let's loop back and let's look at the European. Let me move this for you. Just see if there's anything significant. Nothing of note. Maybe some moisture there in the Gulf of Mexico. Lowering pressures in the Gulf of Mexico this Friday, which that is the case. Does it develop into anything tropical or not? Probably not, but you could see the European picking up on that, right? All right, and then let's go back, because that's as far as the 60 runs. Let's go beyond. Nothing crazy going on here. Yep, and that's as far as the European goes. All right, to the ensembles. GFS ensemble. Go here to the beginning. Let's see what's doing here. And then we can, of course, look at the BSR. So you've got Earl lifting to the north. There's that cluster. Another cluster of ensemble members showing something. Interesting. Let's just come in a little closer here. You see that? Over to the east of Florida. Let's back this up just a little bit. Is it just one ensemble member? Yeah, one ensemble member. Just one. You see that one? That one little low heading to the Bahamas? Interesting little bugger, but anyway. All right, let's continue through. You could see this is the 19th. A few ensemble members trying to throw something up together in the Gulf of Mexico. A few ensemble members east of us. And that's as far out as it goes. That's the GFS. Let's switch over to the European. All right, so there's Earl there on the right. Lifting, moving away. And then there's the ensembles for the European, really on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, trying to pick up something of an area of low pressure in the Gulf. Does it develop into anything tropical? Again, probably not getting too strong, but something around. And then some ensemble members in the Western Gulf. There's some more ensemble members there, the 18th, 19th. You see that showing something around Florida, something east of us more than likely. All right, here's another look at it, and you can kind of get the idea. Something around, more than likely a recurve, but something to track around the 21st or so. I would point out that the 21st is the time frame for the Florester. So let's look at the BSR and kind of just see what we're looking at, right? All right, so here's the BSR, and right off the bat, what are we looking at there? little storm system, southwest Florida. Let me see my timestamp here. That is valid. August 22nd. Oh, you know what's so funny? That's Thursday, Friday. And we know that there's a Gulf low that's going to be developing. So there you go. That's Thursday, Friday of this week. Gulf low developing. All right. Going through time. A little something south of us, according to this. That'll be interesting to see if that plays out. That's what? That's the 26th. Around the 12th, September 12th. Maybe something south of us in the Caribbean. Something out east of us there, right? That's the 18th, something east of us, the 18th. And then it's kind of starting to show a little something out around Florida again, right here in the Gulf. September, that's around the 23rd. So that's the 23rd of September. That's the 24th of September. And that's the BSR showing the Florester. That's the Florester right there, friends. So the BSR starting to indicate the Florester. Yeah. Fascinating, right? So that'll be interesting to see how that wants to play out. In addition to that, of course, we've got the ability to take kind of the GFS and to look ahead even further. Let's just see what it's painting in there. So there's the Florester. Yep, around the 23rd, 24th of September. So I'm telling you right now it's September 6th, but watch the Gulf Coast around the 23rd, 24th, 25th of September. That's the model showing that up. Then high pressure. I'm curious at the end here because last night it had something else into early October, and I just want to eyeball it. Not as much of a signature now, which is fine. Perfect. Okay. Oh, nice storm system up north. That'll be interesting. When is that? That's like October 8th. Could we get a nice cold blast of air up north? You see that? Interesting. But at any rate, the Florester is showing up on both the BSR and then on the GFS for the BSR. So there you go. There's your Florester right there. Very interesting. It's always interesting stuff, right? All right. So we'll be watching Florester end of September. That's when we'll watch. And then we enter into a new LRC cycle where we're trying to figure it all out together. Yeah. At any rate, there's your 7-day forecast with the rising rain chances. So, Sarah, to answer your question, how is October looking? Don't quite know yet. But we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. Let's see here. This is so cool. Hey, just trying to give you information. How are these models so different? Do they measure different areas? It's not that. It's just that they look at things differently. It's kind of like, I'm going to briefly talk about politics. It's kind of like politics. You and your neighbor, you and your sibling, you and your spouse could have completely different political views. Just like models. They're all different. Doesn't mean any one is right or wrong. It just means that they're all, different. That's all. When are you going to turn the heat off? Oh, if I had the button. Pick up that breeze. Give me some... Oh, fall is my favorite time of the year. God, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Questions, comments, concerns, anything? Anything at all? No? You got nothing? Mickey, is that Florester potentially the new wave off of Africa? It takes 2 weeks or so to traverse the Atlantic. Probably not. It's too early to know. Lori's asking about the Florester. What is the Florester? So to understand what that is, here's the TLDR, okay? The too long didn't read explanation is every year I put together a hurricane forecast. This year, obviously, the 2022 hurricane season forecast. And we identified different pieces of the weather pattern that occurred during the months of October and November because they cycle over and over and over and over again. Okay? And some of them get dates of when they happened. Others get names, like the Floriester. We lovingly called it the Floriester, and it just kind of became part of the vernacular. So that's what that is. It's just a cycling storm system that has come through. And to give you an idea of the Floriester, what it represents, it's the November 6th part of the pattern. Mainly focused on the West Coast, which kind of makes sense because if you look West Coast, there's the signal there along a cold front. So kind of lines up perfectly, doesn't it? So anyway, Floriester. Boy, did we think we were cute or what? Around the 25th or so of September is when it's showing up. And by the way, when did we list it? Late September. Nothing for nothing, friends. This is a graphic that has not been updated since we put out our forecast. Late September, showing up. There you go. All right. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. Hope you have a great one. I will see you today on WESH 2 News at noon and WESH 2 News at 4 o'clock. And of course, I'll be tweeting through the day as well.